Let's see if we can finish off this game tonight. Alright, just double checking I have my headphones on the right way. I think it's going to matter with this stethoscope. But we'll see. No, you don't. Stethoscopes go in both ears. What am I thinking? Those are one-eared stethoscopes. Use. Use? Is he automatically using it? It sounded like there was something in there. Uh, Turn on the visual cues. But you said you couldn't hear through it before, buddy. So why aren't you... Are they in his ears? Well, they are. So he seems nonplussed about that door. What about this door? Yeah. Okay. So this door is safe. The other two doors are not safe. I do believe we've confirmed that. Please don't die, Daniel. This... Lost drawing. Collection of a scene that could take place. Okay, we're gonna be in front of some very large door of tentacles. Picture of a scene that must take place. Could take place. A scene that happened. Okay. Why is there a corpse here? She did not die. Maybe it's not her then. We got a syringe. Sharp metal needle, that's what I thought. Oh, there's just so many bodies. How are there so many people in this hospital? So, do we want to go back up or should we finish listening to cells first? Hey, little crochet, how are you feeling this Monday? Hope you're having a good day. Well, that cell is very occupied. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the this is the last. I think we're near the end of the last chapter. Think. Oh yeah, no, that cell's occupied. Ooh, nice steamed pork buns. Delicious. Okay, that's occupied, so only one was not occupied. And we got 2 items out of it. I don't know, the default. Edgar Allan Poe. That's what it started as. That's what I left it as. I generally prefer to stream games unless it's like very clearly a game I'm going to crush. I'm going to leave it on the default difficulty. Because that, in theory, is what the developers intended the game to be experienced as. Lovecraft difficulty is tough. So, in Chapter 1, I had one person other than Daniel survive. Agreed. Come on, heart rate monitor. Get back to where you were before. In the second chapter, Katrine and Daniel and the dude with the gun survived. Oh. Hold up. I can't open that door. I am offended. This is an impassable door. Being attacked through impassable doors. I do not appreciate game. I like a lot of what they did with the game, but I also take issue with some things, such as the fact that this game basically looked at classic Resident Evil and Fatal Frame control schemes are just like, that's too convenient that you can pivot on one foot. We're gonna make it so you have to run towards the enemy to turn around. Like it's hard to turn from stop. Oh, actually, it's not so bad on controller, but on keyboard, it's like nigh impossible to do without running towards the enemy. And that drove me crazy when I was playing on keyboard. So I had to go get my controller to play this game. I was a little annoyed at the first chapter. The end of the first chapter, there's no indication that the house has changed in any way or that anything has changed in the house after doing a certain puzzle, which I thought was questionable. I really liked the rest of that chapter, but that last piece made me very annoyed that there was no indicator. Because Resident Evil is just like, I heard something somewhere. Or a weird chill happened just to tell you to go back to rooms you've been in before instead of wandering the house aimlessly. The end of the second chapter also drove me crazy because you do all this stuff to prepare to go into that storage room, and then a third of it is running aimlessly. Being like, hey, I think this is the general direction I need to go. Because you can't follow the trail. I really like the third chapter. Oh, again, except for they actually made me sit down at the end and draw the stupid map out in my mind. Though it's not as bad as it didn't bother me that much. So I think the third chapter was one of my favorites. The fourth chapter, every time the door opens you hear bah. little squeaky. And I also enjoyed, well, the fourth chapter I killed a lot of people, so I had to replay the first chapter. I replayed it on stream and that wasn't great, so the second chapter I failed and I had to speed run through again. The third chapter I failed in that last area, again because I didn't want to spend the time drawing out the map in my mind, so I didn't. But basically from dying there, I knew what the path would be after looking at the cameras again. But that was a short chapter, and it took me like 30 minutes to get back there. It's very interesting to have choices that are could be right or could be wrong with permadeath. I guess that's kind of like some of the more story-driven games tend to do it, like Detroit, Only Human, and Heavy Rain. But it's interesting to have a puzzle game that's like that, where if you didn't do a thing, your character is going to die, or if you do a thing, your character is going to die. But yeah, the rest of that was just like, the house thing was not cool, but not great design, but also not terrible. The third one is so short that I didn't particularly mind doing a speed run of that to get back to that position. The second one, I was not thrilled with the maze, so that was a real stickling point, was that maze. And the other point that has kind of stopped me from being like, I really love this game, is when you're mixing herbs, you're cutting bits of dry herbs to make a mix to make a deoxidizer. And for some reason it requires a specific order of input, like as if you were mixing, like imagine you're making a dry rub for cooking, and for some reason you put the pepper in before the salt, and you're just like, this is garbage now. As long as the right proportions, it should be fine. It should be if you input the right number of things, it should be fine. But that's not how they went with this game, so I was very annoyed with that. That puzzle pissed me off a lot. But otherwise, I've mostly enjoyed this game. I have a lot of small gripes with it, which tells you that I'm actually paying enough attention to to see the things that I don't like, as opposed to, and I've been playing through it. Like, it's not like I died and was like, well, we're done here. But yeah, the dry herb one was let's see if I get this heart rate sensor to work properly for this bit. Foot pressure. Right pressure. Little. Much. Frickin'. Let's go. Last section. Well, third section. Kind of out of place to explore in that hospital, so unless they open up yet another spot. Come on, heart rate monitor. The moment I look away, you're done.
Oh.
Among the darkness, I can see a dull and hypnotic greenish glow. Oh, yeah, we've been here before as Daniel in that world. But he entered it while not dreaming. She seems to have entered it while dreaming. While deteriorating, giving away to something else, to someplace else. Take a little elevator down. This chapter wasn't so bad, though Cogswell did have to throw me a hint that I wasn't counting the glasses in some man's pocket. Well, the rest of it, I figured that out. So, yeah. Yeah, I can see how, at a harder difficult, like, I'm barely making it through this game, and I didn't have to restart chapter 4, but all the other chapters I had to restart for one reason or another. Mostly testing things that I thought would almost certainly be death, but I was just kind of like, I kind of think it might be safe. I think Omar really liked this grenade. Oh, no? Well, that's a shame. Guess we'll go pick up bits of Omar. Monster less forgiving. Yeah, I can see that. Though once you know what you're doing, I don't imagine it's quite as hard. But um, going straight in on Lovecraftian difficulty, I imagine would be immensely difficult. Wow, this is really going down there, huh, lady? Oh, you know what? Actually, something that's actually bothering me.
Ariadne, did you want
Voices
to come here?
are super quiet, even when I have them set to max volume for voices. But the bass and everything else is almost deafening. Like it peaks out on OBS at these settings at times. So I can't hear what the characters are saying, but I can't turn it up or I'll go deaf. that's a little frustrating for me. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Cheers. Yeah, you need to hear through the doors, so I can't like keep cranking it down. But the bass sometimes is just ridiculous that they're putting through headphones. Hello, my other self. Maybe if I turn out the lantern. But isn't that me? What will happen if I turn it off? Should I turn it off?
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Oh, shit. Shit, I'm running out of time.
Buddy, did you dip before this was done? It's still cranking away.
Ariadne was right. She was right about everything. I've seen it with my own eyes, even if it was in dreams. It's true. That place. The presence. I know what I have to do. Now that I'm awake, I need to... I need to get the music box and find a way to take it there. Yes. I solved this riddle. Now that I'm awake, I can put an end to this horror once and for all. Now that I'm awake, I can awake.
Well, you didn't stay awake for long. Alright. Oh, that was the end of the chapter? Okay. Failing on that. And,